Welcome back, everybody. My name is Blockreation, and today we're going to be taking a look at a chorus fruit farm. I like to call it the Chorus Towers. This farm relies on a concept shown by Tose Redstone, and I'll link his video in the description down below. But basically, it uses a teleportation bug in Minecraft with a 0-tick pulse. That's a pulse that just emits a tick or a signal in one tick and goes off in the same tick, which allows sticky pistons to teleport blocks. So right here we have our chorus flower, and if I flick this lever, a 0-tick is there and it will instantly grow up one block. We can also repeat this process again, so like this. And this is how this farm works. We just have very many 0-tick teleportation devices. So this block gets teleported right here in one game tick. The chorus fruit is going to grow into this spot right here. Then below that is going to teleport another block in and will destroy the stem, which will drop a item, and this is just repeated up there, and this can be as high as you want until you hit the build limit. And now we can see it in action, so I just have to place in a chorus flower right here, and it's going to teleport the blocks in, and it's very fast. So I can't even see it because it's so fast. But then the items get collected through minecart hoppers right here, and we can collect our items right here. And we also get a chorus flower dispensed from this dropper, so we can go into survival like this, place down our chorus flower, and we will get a new one once it's done. To build this, you're going to need about a chunk, so 16 by 16, and we're going to start with our chests, so they are going to come right in the middle. So right here, like this, 3 chests and like 4 blocks above the ground like this. And I like to place a chest, then a trap chest, and then a normal chest again. Then 4 hoppers behind each of them, just like that, with rails on the third blocks, and then we want to have blocks topping off those rails. Then we want to punch out this rail and place in our minecarts on the side 2 rail lines, then 2 minecarts right here, and place in our ice or whatever block you want to use, but I like to have ice just because I think it looks funny. But now we can also place in our last 2 more minecarts right here, and these are just going to be stuck under more endstone, which we will push in later, or we can do right now. So like this, and then push it in. And lastly, we want to have another minecart right here. So place in hoppers just like that connect up to these hoppers. Then place a rail with a minecart on top, and you have to block off those 2 sides with your building block. I like to use iron because it gives that industrial feel. And above that we want to have a observer facing away from the endstone. After we have done that, we want to just come below this observer and place a sticky piston diagonally down from there with a block on the side of it, and then we want to detect this block with another observer, and place in a observer with a 4-tick repeater behind that. Then a monostable circuit, so place in a sticky piston right there with a block on top, and then a sticky piston with a redstone block on the side of it, or on the face of it. Then 3 redstone in this direction, 1 block down with redstone on the on top. And then we want to place a normal piston right to the side of that. On top of that piston, we want to have a armor stand, and now we want to put in some tripwire right here, and this is going to create a pseudo user input. So tripwire detects as a player input, and this farm only works if it's triggered by a player input, so this is why we have to have this activation circuit. Now we can take a output from this block in the middle, and we want to run 3 redstone into this direction, and then 2 more redstone into this direction. That ends in a block with a sticky piston on top and a block of redstone, and then a repeater with a block on the side of it, another repeater after that, set on 2 ticks, and then 3 powered rails, just like that. On the other side, we want to have 3 powered rails as well. Then another 2-tick repeater, and a block with a repeater 2. Connect this with a line of redstone from here with a monostable circuit in between, just like that. And right here I forgot, this has to be a monostable circuit as well, so just place a sticky piston below this. And this is going to create a game tick difference, because one side has to be activated 1 game tick after the other. And here a repeater has a delay of 2 game ticks, so 1 redstone tick. And instead of the repeater, on this side, we have a sticky piston with a block of redstone. And block of redstone, that has a sticky piston has a delay of 3 game ticks until the block is placed in to here. And this is just going to have 2 game ticks and then 3 game ticks. Now we want to add in some more rails, so 6 blocks with rails on top, just like that. And these have to be powered rails, by the way. So these are going to give observers a update. But on that side we have to place them, and on this side too. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. And on this side, we want to have a observer, not in that direction, but in this direction, with 5 4-tick repeaters after it, like this, in a construction, like that. And after that, we want to have a block with a dropper on top. And this is just going to be filled with our flowers, so our chorus flowers, of course, not other flowers. And this is going to give us our flowers that we are going to plant on this block. So we are now done with the control circuit, and now we can move on to the stackable modules. And these are designed by Ilmango, and I'll link his video in the description down below. But Ilmango is a great YouTuber, check him out and subscribe to him. But we have to place our first observer right here, and then a dropper on top of that, that observer. Then we want to get a output with a repeater set on 3 ticks, then another output with a repeater set on 1 tick, and after that a repeater set on 2 ticks. And this is just going to update this 3-tick repeater before this 2-tick repeater, which is important for the zero tick generator and don't do anything else. Then we want to place a dropper right here with 2 observers like this in a chain. Then also a sticky piston on the side of that dropper with a block which has to be solid on the face of it, and this has to be movable, of course. And after that we are going to place in our sticky piston and replace this block with end stone. Now we have to do the exact same thing on the other side. So again, observer, dropper, block, 3-tick repeater, 1-tick repeater, 2-tick repeater, dropper, then a sticky piston, block, observer, sticky piston, and end stone. And this you have to stack on top of each other. So again, observer, dropper, block, 1-tick repeater, 3-tick repeater, then block, 2-tick repeater, dropper, sticky piston, observer, and another observer with end stone. Now we're going to do the sides. So with these modules in place, the blocks are going to be teleported right here, but we want to have them teleported to this spot. So we just have to teleport them from here to here. And we're going to start with a observer again, then a dropper, 2 blocks with a 3-tick repeater, and then a 2-tick repeater. This is important that the first one has to be 3-tick and then 2-tick, because first this is going to update and teleport the block here, and then this is going to update and teleport the block right here. And as said, that is all explained in Ilmango's video 2. Then we want to have another observer above this dropper, yes, and face a observer out of that, which is going to lead into a block with a comparator out of there and a 2-tick repeater. And as you can see, this is 5 ticks, then 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 5 ticks, 2. Then we want to also create our 0-tick generator. So again, we just move this, we power this block, and after that, in the same tick, we remove this block via this piston. But this is not going to be updated immediately, but rather after 3 piston actions. So this is already teleported when this is going to be updated. So first this piston extends, then this piston extends, and then this piston extends. And this you can also mirror on the other side. So again, observer, dropper, observer, then 2 blocks with a 3-tick and a 2-tick repeater. That was false, but like this. Then our 0-tick generator with a block right here, then a comparator, a 2-tick repeater, a block right here, a piston into this direction, and another piston in that direction. And now you can also build this higher and all of these things higher. I dropped up. I forgot to place in the pistons that are actually going to teleport the blocks. So these have to be right here and right here. And while we're at it, we can also create a system that is going to push this end block back. And for that, we're going to place a normal piston below this sticky piston and power it just by getting a dropper, placing it right here, and out of that a observer into the normal piston, and this has to go out of a other piston that is right there, which we can add just like that. I forgot to mention something. You can also replace this piston with a dropper, and you have to add a observer on each of these side modules just right here. So right here we have the 0-tick pulse generator here, and here's the comparator, and then the 2-tick what is it called, repeater. We want to have a dropper on the opposite side of the block with a observer facing to this piston, and this you have to do on every level. So let me do that right here, and you can also do it on this side, or you have to if you want to have a functional system. You should now have something like this, probably a little bit higher. As I said, I would recommend the maximum build height, but it should do something like this, and you should see the chorus flute up top if it stops. Now we just have to fill in the gaps, so I like to use iron, but you can use the block of your choice. And up here we have a slide problem, and this is very easy to fix. You just have to add another layer without a piston or anything. So do another one of those, and we just have to do this side, so with the observers and not the 0-tick pulse generator. So like this, and you probably are already sick of this, but like this, and you can just use a normal block there. But one thing that I messed up with that design, where I sat like 1 hour trying to figure out why this system didn't work, is here you have to use not solid blocks, but non-solid, I don't know the word, but you can't use solid because this will mess up the system, and you just have to place in blocks behind those slabs, or if you use stairs you don't have to do that. Then I also build blocks right here and just bring this whole thing up 3 blocks. So right here is the last where the chorus fruit is going to go, and then we have to go up 2 blocks like this, and till there we have to build. So just use your block of choice and build our roof right here. Then I like to also decorate the sides, and you know what I mean. And you also have to fill in all the walls in the chamber, so none of your items get lost. Then I just like to have stained glass right here. I like to use gray, but you can decorate this however you want. Now you should also build your AFK area. So right here is where you're going to stand. So we have to stand on the floor level with the ice. Wait a second. And right here we have to punch out a glass block and place a slab, so we can place the chorus fruit, or flower I meant. And then I like to have be able to access my chests, and for that I just have to remove these things very quickly like that. And why won't this work properly the first time, but like that. And right here we can also see our things selected, so like that. and you're probably already finished. But if you're on a multiplayer server and you can AFK with 2 accounts, you can also add a booth up top where you're going to break the last cursed fruit. So the last cursed fruit is going to be on this side, and then you can break it with a silk touch. I think you need silk touch, I don't know, but you can break the last cursed fruit and then get the cursed flower back, I meant. And you can also add a sorting system, but I think all of you know how to build a sorting system and a item stream. And basically you can get the output from here and lead this into a storage system. That's it for this video. As I said, check out Tose Redstone and Ilmango. They are both great YouTubers and I would highly recommend the videos of them. But anyway, that's it for today, and I hope to see you all in the next video.